What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking a look at the Musketeer in Crystal of Atlan. On the launch of this game, this class is going to split into two different subclasses, the Bounty Hunter and the Gunner. But I also want to talk about the third subclass that will be coming later on down the line, the Mystrix, which is personally one of my favorite classes inside the game. The Musketeer class actually surprised me the most based on how it played inside the game, especially the Gunner class. It actually has a lot more than what meets the eye. But first, we're going to be starting off with the Bounty Hunter class. I would say the Bounty Hunter is definitely meant to be one of the more mobile classes inside the game. It features a initial passive that gives you a movement speed buff as you dodge. The more you dodge, the more movement speed you actually will get, stacking up to 5 times, incentivizing you to actually dodge to reposition around the map and also get a movement speed buff as well. They also have a skill with a 12-second cooldown that allows her to augment herself with any element inside the game. So currently ice, fire, electric, and dark, and she can do this skill again every 12 seconds, and it'll also apply to all her other skills as well, so she can essentially boost her damage with elemental damage every 12 seconds based on the situation. I believe this class is again for people who like flashy and fast combat but don't necessarily like the melee combat that Magic Blade has to offer. This class will definitely scratch that itch for you. She also has a level 45 passive that gives her a 7% damage buff every time she does 20 hits, which falls right in line with her playstyle. She has a lot of multi-hit skills, so keeping this buff up is actually very easy to do and also very essential in keeping up her DPS. I think she's also a very beginner-friendly class as well because of how her skills work. She doesn't necessarily have anything that's very gimmick-based. Everything is very straightforward. Just move fast, do damage, and keep your combo counter up, and this class will be shredding. Next, we are taking a look at the Gunner class for the Musketeer. Contrary to your first impression of her, she's actually a stance class with a heat gauge mechanic that allows her to do more damage as you fill up the bar. As you use her skills, she'll actively switch between 3 different modes that all change the way how her basic attack functions. She can go between melee mode, which changes her basic attack into a melee attack string. She can go between electromagnetic mode, which changes her basic attack into a mid-range poke. And she can go into grenade mode, which changes her melee attack into a long-range poke. Along with her basic attack being able to be effective at all 3 ranges, she also has skills which make her effective at all 3 ranges, all together making this class effective at all 3 ranges: melee, mid, and long range. I would say this class is for people who like those ramp up bursty classes. Her damage can fall off as her heat gauge gets lower. You're not necessarily able to keep the heat gauge up at 100% all the time, so it's a revolving door of you going ahead and building up the heat gauge, doing your big burst. It falls down a little bit, you build it back up, do your big burst, and it's just a matter of managing your heat gauge, making sure it's as high as possible so that whenever your burst is off cooldown, you're able to get the max damage. So this class is for people who like to manage resources and like more bursty classes. Although she looks slow at first, she actually is not that slow to play at all. A lot of her skills are actually very quick, and you can also speed them up by jumping. So I would say the big distinction between this class and Bounty Hunter is the stances as well as the heat mechanic, making her more of a bursty class, whereas Bounty Hunter is a lot more sustained. Now it is time for us to talk about my favorite Musketeer class, which is the Mystrix. The Mystrix is also similar to Gunner and similar to Bounty Hunter. She kind of takes a little bit from both of them and makes it into her own kind of play style. If you've ever played Soul Worker and you've played Gun Jazz, think about it like that. She's basically able to summon different weapons. She can summon a shotgun, a laser beam, motorcycle, as well as a sniper rifle. Her main gimmick is going to be rotating through these 4 different types of weapons. They're all attached to different skills to build her meter at the bottom of the screen. Once you actually reach 10 stacks of this meter, different skills will give you different amounts. You'll be able to use a special skill that actually gives her a 6% damage buff increase, as well as reduces the cooldowns for her skills as well. Once you hit level 45 with this class, you'll actually unlock the stance mechanism for this class. So how this works is when you use a certain type of skill, whether you use, for example, a shotgun skill, you'll actually be able to get a buff depending on that type of skill that you actually use. So for example, for your shotgun skills, you will receive a shield. For your sniper skills will generate more stacks of your meter. And the way that you actually initiate this stances is when your meter is at 0, the first skill that you actually use will initiate the specific effect. It will be shown at the bottom of your screen as well. I know this class will not be there on launch, but I definitely wanted to give you guys an overview of the class because I think this class is actually extremely cool and very fun to play. And in case anybody's like me waiting for this class and just wanted to see what the class could potentially do, that's what it does. That is it for my Crystal of Atlan Musketeer overview. But Bounty Hunter and Gunner are going to be the two classes that release on the launch of Crystal of Atlan. Mystrix will be coming later. Let me know if this video actually did help you with picking which class you're actually going to be using if you're interested in the Musketeer, by either letting me know inside the comment section or dropping a like on the video. Thank y'all for watching as always. I'll catch you on the next one. Next we'll be going over the Magister. And I'll catch you on the next video. Be easy, be safe, y'all, and peace.